I'm gonna go over how I actually made my waist. I'm not gonna say I changed the size of my waist or anything, but I'm gonna show you what I have actually done, like core wise, that changed the shape of, like, I'm not even gonna say change the shape of my waist, because I'm not gonna lie to y'all. My waist, I'm gonna post a picture. Well, I'll put a picture over this video. In that picture on the left side, I was started. That was probably 2012, 13. I think I was like, I was getting over after that when I started gaining the weight. I think I was like 155 if I remember right. That picture is 155. The other picture, I've stayed around the same weight since COVID, like 189. So my weight fluctuates from like 180 to 190 now, just because I put on a lot of muscle mass. Leanness though, I was definitely a lot leaner back then, but now I am more muscle. So the more muscle you put on, the more you're going to look leaner faster if you cut out, just because you've recomped. So it's hard to explain this, but when you recomp, what you're doing is kind of like changing what your body looks like, on the concept of you're having less fat over muscle mass. Now, a lot of recomp, when you recomp, you don't really see it on a scale. You have to see it in pictures. That's why I tell people to take pictures, because a lot of people recomp and they don't recomp on purpose. So if you're kind of like in a maintenance area all the time and you're not really in a super calorie deficiency when you're working out, you'll slowly start recomping and you'll just start to look different. So you'll start losing, especially in your face, you'll start seeing your face. I actually have a client, she just told me yesterday, she recomped a lot, and like when we first started, you could tell like she cared in her face and everything, and like she's obviously not super skinny and she understands that. That's just, I also told her like sometimes people's body builds are just not meant to be skinny. It is what it is. But she was explaining how she looks different. So she's definitely lost her weight in her face, and you could tell it from past photos. She's a lot more snatched in her waist, and she carries all her weight here in her legs instead of here. So she's gone like that. She looks fucking fabulous. But that's a recomp. So recomping is a good thing. So that's kind of why I look so different than what I did before, even though I put on a lot more muscle mass. And I'm not as lean, but I still look lean because I have so much muscle. So like I tell people, build the muscle. Muscle building and making the muscle stick takes time and work, and eating correctly and making sure your programs are actually designed to build, because not every certain repetition is going to help you build. Okay. So this is me now. I am not shredded, but I've worked very hard to maintain a more body that is slimmer. So obviously you can still see my quads. I've just gained a lot of weight. So, and you can tell, short torso, big rib cage, always had it forever. And I've just learned how to build correctly for it. I'm gonna show you a little bit at my gym, what I do to maintain more of a curvature body and still being able to work out. So this is what I look like now. I'm not super lean, but you know, the curvature is there, and I'm gonna not pose. So this is me not posed. Yes, a lot of people ask me about my abs. I don't gain weight here. I gain it in my upper back. So for my upper body to come, I have to really be, so, and then, yeah, and I've also grown my butt. But I'm gonna show you some tips on what you should be doing for your core to still have a strong core and still help build an inner core, which is important when you're trying to keep a flat stomach, for your posture to be able to engage and brace and stuff like that as well. Upper top, when it comes to upper top, if ladies, you are a little top heavy, that means you cannot train up top like that. And I say that because when you build muscle, and if you're not wanting to keep your diet good, you're just gonna look bigger up top. That's literally why I tell people, when I cut, I might actually go crazy up top after a certain point. Like I'll lift heavy, but my diet kind of follows that. So even though I'm lifting heavy, I'm not eating enough calories to make it add on to my body like muscle mass wise. All I'm doing at that point is just burning calories because I'm in such a calorie deficiency and I'm not going to build. When I'm bulking or when I'm in maintenance mode where I'm not as lean up top, I don't really lift at all. No body weight, no nothing. I've learned this from the years of experience. I've been doing this forever. But this is the years of experience of learning my body and learning what works for certain people as well. I've worked with a lot of different people. And all I can say is if you tend to build really fast up top, that means you just can't lift like that if you don't want muscles. And a lot of people see my arms, they're like, oh, your arms are big. No, you can see that I'm not as cut right now because I carry my body fat up top, like especially on my back and my top of my arms and the back of my arms. And I know it's not a lot, and I'm not saying it's a lot, and I know it's not, but it's enough where it's a layer of fat where you can't see how much muscle I actually have, like, on my back, but you see, like, and that's kind of one of those things where I have to stay super lean to be able to keep my back shredded. Stomach is a whole different story. So we're gonna go to the gym now, but I'm gonna show y'all what I do for my abs. I hit abs sometimes, but when you learn how to engage them properly throughout the movements, you really don't need to do crazy stuff. You just have to learn how to engage properly when you're working out, and then you can build your core naturally. Because one thing people don't realize, when your body gets out of, like when you're reaching or when you're picking, you're holding weight like this, your core has to activate because your body is out of center of gravity, okay? So that means your core has to keep yourself centered or keep your body from falling over. So when you learn how to brace your core when you're lifting heavy weights, you just naturally build your core strength. So we're going to go over that. We're going to go to the gym. I'm going to try my best to record. I'm in a public gym. I am very particular. A lot of people see me record. Where I record at is a private facility, and I don't have people that are just kind of just working out in there by themselves. I work at a trainer gym. So I really try to be careful on where I set my camera up in the gym. So if it's not the best view, it's because I really, really aim to not get anybody in my video. And I'm also not a person to really care if someone jumps in my video. I just cut it out. I don't really care. A lot of people like freak out. I was like, it's not that deep. I will do another set. I've had to redo sets over and over and again because I kept messing up. So we're going to go to the gym because it's going to rain. Yeah, okay. So we're going to go and meet me at the gym. I also forgot to say, I put these on before I go to the gym. And then I wear my shoes when I get in the gym. Why do I do this? Because people don't realize when you walk around in your feet with your shoes on, you're ruining the tread on the bottom of your feet. So if you want good shoes and you want your tread to last better, stop wearing your gym shoes outside, okay? Learn that in volleyball. Haven't done it since. I've always walked in the gym with slides and I put my shoes on in there. So keep a pair of gym shoes that you don't walk outside with because you're ruining the tread, okay? There's your tip. All right, now let's go. All right, guys, here we go. First thing is we're going to warm up on this treadmill. I love this treadmill, but we're going to do monster walks first. So the key of monster walks is making sure you maintain a straight foot when you're walking forward and backwards. So make sure your foot, it does not turn out, okay? We're activating glute medius. We're going to activate the glute medius again because it's important. So when you don't have this activated, you wonder why your fucking knee hurts all the time, all right? So actually angle out. You see how I'm angling it? Externally rotate. I have this in my programs. Single leg hip thrust to activate the glutes before we actually start. Okay, this is also a thing that's in one of my programs as well for my Corrective fitness. Okay, now that was me bracing my core before I do these planks. Now the goal of these planks is you drive your elbows toward your hips and you drive your hips towards your elbows. Try doing that and holding that and bracing for 10 seconds. I promise you, your shit will be shaking. Okay, single RDLs. Yes, foot placement is everything. Push that hip back. These are a little bit more advanced movements. And I do Bulgarians with stability because it makes me brace my core, which engages my core a lot more. And since I have thick legs, I'm not trying to grab my legs anymore, okay? So we don't really do weighted stuff, just a lot of connection. Clamshells, also part of my program. It's great for activation of the trunk, activation of your external hip rotation, so your glute medius. Now, these are plank dips. Plank dips are for your obliques. A lot of people don't think obliques are hit by side planks. They are not. Do plank dips. They are important for your obliques to be strong or you'll have a tight back. Okay? I do these a lot for my core, but also my arms because I don't like to have big arms. These are great. They're like glute medius hip thrust. I don't suggest doing them unless you have a super active glute medius because you might feel this in your TFL, which won't be good. We're going to go through a stretching portion also. In my beginner stretch guide, I go over this, and this is all modified, everything I'm doing right now. This is my advance. I stretch all the time. This is me doing frog. A lot of people are asking me how I do this. It's taken me a very long time to be able to get my back almost close to the ground. But the foam roller and pushing down through the floor with the foam roller in hand is a lot easier to get a bigger stretch than it would if you didn't have it, okay? We're going to do this. I'm rocking back and forth. I do this for about a minute or two just to really open my hips. So if you sit a lot, this is what you need to be doing, okay? Child's play, we already know what that is since my back is actually loosened up. Now, I do these back bends like this just to stretch my hip flexors and my hips up front. I was smiling at someone because he was like, good job, good job. So I push up the foam roller just to spread my back, stretch my back a little bit more, okay? And this is me still trying to maintain a split, pushing through and pushing that leg towards the ground to open up that hip flexor, okay? Stretching it out. I do this a lot. Stretching is important, okay? This is me stretching my lower back. Now, this has taken time. I also have this in my beginner plan, but I show you a way to modify it to work your way up to this position. It's taken me forever to sit like this and not get cramped up like I usually do, okay? So this is progress coming from me. This is progress, okay? So here we are. And we're going to stretch the ankles as well. You can tell I'm stretching them. I do this a lot as well. People don't realize your ankles and your foot and your toe needs to be flexed and be able to stretch a certain length so you don't walk weird. And it will throw your walking up if your feet are tight. FYI. It runs up your whole body. So everything's interconnected. Let's be honest. So I'm stretching my back now. Switch sides. I do this afterwards because usually sometimes in the beginning you're a little bit tight. Now this is a butterfly. This is a great one too for if you sit a lot all day. Now, I do these as well to just open up my hips, and I go up and down. I'll hold it sometimes, but I'm doing this to get ready to prep, to get ready to go into the splits because I finally can do that now, and I use the techniques from my beginner flexibility program to get me there. Okay, so this is the only way I can do it. I got to slide into this bad boy. I'm still working on it. I'm pretty tight, which is not too bad. I don't think I did pretty bad, but I haven't done the splits in like a couple weeks. So I have to get myself loosened up, though, with my hips that are like that. And I switch sides. There's always one side that's going to be harder than the other. We're still working. We're still working. But this is progress, though. This is progress, guys. I say it's a win, okay? This is a win, okay? Check out my beginner flexibility guide, though.